So now for part 3 of the henna leaf series, I'm going to show you more of a realistic leaf, and I'm going to break it down for you so you can really get a nice shape to it. Let me show you. First, I'm going to draw out exactly what I mean and give you some examples. So you're doing a lot of just simple leaves and vines, but this one I really want to give the effect of it being more of a leaf, a little bit more iconic leaf looking. But I know sometimes this shape can be a little challenging, so I have kind of created a little way to hopefully make it a little bit easier and break it down for you. So basically what I would say is you can kind of see there's this curve here, which goes kind of like a C curve, and then there's kind of like a backwards one, and then a long C curve to kind of meet it together. So you can just think of it as C, backward C, that's kind of smaller, and then a long C. And of course, you don't have to go in really thick at first. Like I have always taught in my videos, you can create what I like to call guidelines. So just with very thin pressure first. This will kind of help you get an idea of where to place the thick lines before you go in with all your pressure. So now once that is traced out, you can then go like this. And to create that leaf look, I usually like to do 2 lines, but you can kind of see it's a little bit curved. So I go from the base to the tip with a slight curve meeting up at the more pointed tip area. And in the previous video we went over teardrops, and you can actually incorporate those into this. So you can do some really nice long teardrop shapes. And this is a very common leaf you see a lot in floral henna designs. And I love the way it looks. There's different kind of varieties you can say. That's the cool thing. Once you get this down, you can either exaggerate it or you can make it really small. So for example, if you want to exaggerate it, you can do a really, really thick C curve and then a really twisted top like that. And you can even point it a little bit at the bottom and then meet them all together like that. This is a really fun kind of leaf look. And then the curve like that. And you can kind of do some shading if you want, but to kind of keep in line with the videos that we were just doing, kind of want to show you how this teardrop can really create a more realistic looking leaf. And then to kind of give you an idea of more like a vine that you can use this kind of technique, or just to kind of give you some more examples, you can first kind of do a line, and then again you can do your C, backward C, and joining line. Once you get it down though, you can do it all together, and then you can do these cascading up, each one a little bit smaller than the other until you get to the very top one. This is one that I like to do a lot. Now doing it in the opposite direction will be probably a little bit more challenging in the beginning, so don't worry about that. And then instead of doing 2 lines and the teardrops, because these are a little bit smaller, a lot of times I will just do a tapered line going up like this. You could go all the way to the tip, but sometimes I kind of like the look of it. It gives a little bit more kind of, not necessarily like a shadow look, but I just really like the feel of that. And to take it a step further, to give you some more ideas, like I said, going in the opposite direction is probably something you will want to practice a lot, because always learning a technique in one direction, there's always one direction is always easier than the other. So again, just kind of showing you how you can take this, and here showing you how it looks if you have it connecting. So these are just some common motifs, and I'll try to break it down. So how we did it this way. So this is what feels most natural for me. So going the opposite direction, again, you have that C curve, but now it's a little bit, it's backwards. And then you can join them up like this. And once you have your guidelines, just go over them like this. And then add in some teardrops. These are a little bit more thin teardrops. You might want to practice that a few times. And eventually you'll want to learn how to do it all in a single motion, which that's where muscle memory comes in handy. So again, just get a sheet of paper and just try to do it over and over again, and you will have it down in no time. You can also kind of go up like this. And if you do a little bit more light on the inside, a lot of times you can kind of thicken up more of the vein of the leaf, and that looks really nice too. And to kind of give you an idea how you can put all of this now together that we've gone over in this series. So for example, I'm going to try to combine this with these to just kind of show you how you can create a lot of variety with just 3 simple techniques. So the first thing I would do, got the teardrop, and then we're going to go in with one of these leaves like this. I'm going to create a line, and then we're going to create a really long teardrop, and then we're going to do a long tapered kind of leaf vine here, another one like this, and then you can even finish off with another vine or leaf like that. And I'm trying to see some other ideas that I can give you. So also, if you just wanted to do the leaf, this is very commonly done around, you know, a flower as like a main kind of design. You have a flower, and then usually you will have leaves all around it to kind of give some more complexity to the design. But you can also say there's a flower here, then you can add some accents by adding your tapered leaves like this. And then you can even do some teardrops. And end with a tapered leaf like this, and even build it up a little bit more. Like that. And just to kind of go over it again one last time, if you want to do your guidelines, and again you'll want to practice both directions like that. You can do it thinner too if you want, but since I'm working a little bit faster just to illustrate, I'm going to do it nice and lusciously thick. So getting a hang of going in both directions, also even upside down, that will be very useful. That way, whatever direction you're working on someone, you'll be able to execute and make sure the shape is cohesive throughout the entire design. Again, usually when I do lighter on the inside of the leaf, I'll do the vein a little bit thicker. And again, if you want it to go upside down, then you can kind of use this as a framework. So you can do the C shape, the small C, and then the large to bring it all together. And again, you can also do leaves side by side and create really fun motifs. So this definitely looks more like leaf-like than the tapered vines, but these ones that I'm showing here, I feel like any beginner can really utilize to give a little bit more of a realistic leaf look to their henna flower designs. And yeah,